is about faith, and the second one is about prayer. Jesus was a good and wise teacher. He educated and taught his disciples in a unique way. First, he taught them the basic, which is love. Only this, love. To love. Yesterday we heard from the gospel, love your enemies. Second, Jesus gave them the opportunity to live with him, allowing them to see firsthand how he practiced what he preached and he taught. More than that, Jesus also gave them opportunities to learn, as seen in his teachings on faith and prayer. So again, Jesus not only taught them about faith and prayer, but he showed a real example how to be a faithful person and prayerful person. For example, he blessed food before multiplying it, and he taught them to pray. Jesus himself, early in the morning, went to a solitude in the silent place to pray to his Father. And the third, my dear sisters and brothers, Jesus gave his disciples the opportunity to put into practice what they learned from Jesus, what they heard from Jesus. Jesus gave them power, authority, and he sent them to go to preach and to heal the sick, to drive the demons. But unfortunately, it is not always successful. And we learn from today's gospel. Today's gospel reading tells us an interesting story. A man came to Jesus asking him to free his son from a spirit that had made him mute. He had previously come to Jesus' disciples, but they could not help him. That's why he came to Jesus reporting about what he experienced from his disciples. But because of his faith, then Jesus healed the boy. Again, because of faith. So, my dear sisters and brothers, here there are two things that we need to learn. And when Jesus arrived at home together with the disciples, they asked him, "Why could we not drive out the spirit?" And Jesus replied, "This kind cannot be driven out by anything but prayer." So Jesus showed to his disciples the importance of faith and prayer. Behind his miracles, there is always faith. And because of faith, people can see and experience the miracles of Jesus. So, faith and prayer are the two main pillars of a believer's life. If we claim that we are Christians, a believer, the follower of Jesus, we should have faith and we should practice prayer. Because, my dear sisters and brothers, what does it mean to have faith without prayer? Where is the surrender to God? Because if we pray, we show that we surrender to God, that we believe, we rely on God, not on our own. What does it mean to pray without faith? Many people pray without faith, just blah, blah, blah. And there are many liturgies who just blah, 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 without faith. So it is very important for us to remember that faith and prayer always go together. We cannot pray without faith. And if we have faith, we should pray. Ultimately, today's gospel teaches us that faith and prayer grow through process. We are still in the process of being a believer, being a faithful person, and being a prayerful persons. The disciples also need to learn how to pray and how to believe. That's why when they could not drive out the demons, it doesn't mean that they did not have faith. It doesn't mean that they did not pray. The point is they need to pray more, to learn more, and that is what also happened in our lives. If someday our prayer as if not responded by God, it doesn't mean that we have to stop praying. We need to pray more. We need to have more faith in our lives. My dear sisters and brothers, every time we celebrate Mass, we are reminded of Jesus Christ, who teaches us to be prayerful and faithful persons. And Jesus Christ on the altar gives us a real example how to be prayerful, to be a prayerful people. He prays to his Father, and he shows his faith to his Father by dying on the cross. And in our Eucharistic celebration, we celebrate his death on the cross so that we can learn how to be faithful and prayerful persons.